What's up, everybody? It's J Mac, and welcome to Bigfoot Input. We are up early this morning, and I thought, what better way to spend my time doing one of my favorite things, which is looking at cryptid pictures with you guys, and a lot of which you yourself provide. You provide through the email, through Facebook. If you have any pictures that you want to share, possibly to be seen in an upcoming video, feel free to share them at bigfootinput@gmail.com. All right, let's jump right in, guys. We got a lot to unpack today. Where to start? All right, I'm gonna start here. This is a picture taken by Abe, and once again, I believe his last name is Sias. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, sorry, Abe. But when I first went through these pictures, I didn't really see a whole lot, and I think I kind of skimmed by. And I came back around, and I looked again, and I was like, "Man, what is going on there?" And the answer is I don't know. So let me just start there, But I'm going to show you what we can see here. Um, Abe is a pretty stand-up guy, so we have no reason to believe that this is any possible sort of hoax or anything like that. But the question remains, what are we seeing? And so obviously, if you're not seeing it, I mean, I'll point out some obvious points here. We've got this black mass, assuming to be a body. We can kind of see a lightning. This is not black. This is a different color here, of what I would assume to be some sort of hair. And then, of course, you have the outlined face. Okay, with obvious, facial features, chin, mouth, nose, eyes, a little disproportioned, obviously, forehead here. So, Abe believes something that I don't necessarily believe, but, that's okay. He believes that what he's taking pictures of are Nephilim. Basically, I believe he calls them DDN, which is a disembodied demonic Nephilim. So he believes that these are demonic spirits. Um, I I find interest in all things paranormal, so I try not to limit myself on this channel. Although we do talk about a lot of Bigfoot. This is not a Bigfoot. This is something entirely different, and I don't believe that Nephilim are in any way associated with Bigfoot. But that's my personal belief. If you believe different, that's fine. I understand, but I'm just gonna say that I don't know. Abe, I don't know what you've taken a picture of here, but you obviously have a picture of something, and it's very interesting, and it's definitely worth taking a look at. So thank you for your contribution. Um, it's a little scary, if I'm honest with you. Like if I was just walking along and I saw that. I mean, obviously he goes out there with the intent of taking these pictures. Excuse me, I just yawned. I told you it's early. It's early. Very early. Okay, let's see. What else do we have here? All right, we've got something back there, and these folks have blown it up for us. That's nice of them. So we have this sort of ominous looking creature here. Um, so like honestly, like I know it kind of assumes the shape, but I don't really have any reason to believe that this is an actual Bigfoot. I mean, could it be? I guess. Yeah, I guess it could be. Because it does have the cone shaped head and the body structure is all there, but like all we really have to go on here is, well, we have zero facial features here. Fine. We don't have any split in the arm between the body here. Fine. And then we have this like sort of raggedy looking arm. And I just don't know. I think this bothers me. And this might not be a reason to be bothered, but I think it is. It's like, it seems so small and so skinny. Like, what happened to its like fur there and here? I tend to think that this is like tree moss in an unfortunate shape. So I get that it kind of looks like a Bigfoot. I personally don't think it is though. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to stick with that. I mean, like I say, there's always the possibility that I'm wrong, but I don't think so. You know what else bothers me? Look at All right, we're we're not gonna leave yet. Look at the shoulder here, right? Okay, that would put his other shoulder here, right? But then his arm is over here. It's almost like this tree. There's a whole bunch of body there that shouldn't be there. Yeah, no, it's tree moss or something similar, so it's natural. I'm gonna stick with that. So this picture popped up. Now, first glance, right? You're like, oh, cool, it's a Bigfoot running across a field caught by like a drone or a helicopter, maybe. Let's get real close and personal with this guy. That's as good as it gets, and even if I could go any further, it would be super pixelated. But so, it's a toy, right? Does anybody else see that? Like, instead of this being a big field, imagine this is just like a yard, and this guy that's taking the picture is like 6 feet away, right? And it just has, first of all, like, I don't know, there's something, almost looks like, is it wearing pants? There's like almost like a stripe down the leg. That could be grass, though. That could totally be grass. But it just has that arms bent in that walking shape, that classic Sasquatch, like, opposite arm shape. It's a toy. I gotta go with that. It's just a toy in somebody's yard, and then they colored it black and white for whatever. That's hilarious to me. So you've got a drone in the air, right? Taking pictures of Sasquatch, but it's black and white. Right. Is your drone from the 30s? Like, anyway, it's a toy. It's a hoax. So this one came out, it was 16. Been out for a minute. 63 degrees. 8 p.m. at night. And they're posting this on Sasquatch sites. Um so no, right off, yeah. I mean, it does look like a primate. I'll give you that. It looks like a little, almost like a little capuchin monkey. Um yeah, because like, even I don't know where this was taken. I have no clue. Um but even like in Florida, we have little river monkeys, I mean, so it's definitely not outside the realm of possibility. Wherever this was, this little curious little monkey was like, what's going on with this camera, and went and stuck his face in it. Yeah, it's a monkey. Brad Kidd here, back in it, with some kind of interesting shot of something here. And I don't always know what Brad takes pictures of, but I always, he always takes some interesting shots. So I always find they're cool. I have to showcase them, like, I don't always know what they are. I don't think he always knows what they are, frankly, because he'll tell you, like, oh yeah, this is a unknown cryptid, something I caught a picture of. So, um, yeah, I gotta say, forgive me if I'm wrong on this, Brad, but I think Brad is from Australia. And that goes back to some old information of an old picture that he took. Maybe we'll showcase that one next video, but I believe he's Australian. So, again, different region, different creatures, different adaptations. I don't know. I don't know what this is, but it is cool. So you just got like, eye structure here, here, nose, excuse me, nose, some sort of mouth thing here, and maybe like a chin. I don't know. Interesting at least, though. Interesting enough to show you guys. So thanks, Brad. Appreciate the permissions there. We gotta keep going up here. Where are we? Monkey, monkey, monkey. Let's see. I, I don't know where this is from, but this kind of screams Westerman's Kathy Westerman's group. Bigfoot World Aim to Frame. I'm not 100% sure on that. Don't quote me. Normally, I have a better idea of who did these, but this does look like something that Miguel would do, and I think that this is from that group, but I don't know exactly who's responsible now. So is it anything? Is it something? Well, maybe so, because I think it would be easy to dismiss this as pareidolia, but let's not do that just yet, because I want you to focus here. Follow my cursor. I want you to focus on this line. It goes up here, comes down. All right. So we have a very distinct outline of something. Forget the red line. That's not important. You got a distinct outline, and then once you get inside the outline, then you're finding the eyes here and here, and you're finding the nose, and you're finding the mouth, and you're finding a chin here. When we talk about pareidolia, what you're going to see is like, faces in the bush. And if you zoom in far enough, you'll find, 10, 20 faces in just about any given picture. And that's what our brains do, is that we're programmed to avoid ambush. So our brains find faces in the bush easily. But in this instance, you're adding the frame of the head and the face. So again, I don't think that this is pareidolia. I think that this is something real. And it does have a classic sort of Sasquatch look to it. Now, keep in mind, if this is Florida and I'm correct, this is going to be more of a skunk ape as opposed to a Sasquatch, which is a much smaller creature. They range more like 6 to 7 foot, and they're more lanky. They're not as big as a Sierra Nevada Bigfoot because they don't have to climb mountains and stuff, so they don't have the muscular structure. But, and then also, I swear, it seems like if I'm right and this is Kathy's picture, it always seems like they just have a little bit of almost like a cloaking ability. And I hate to say that word because it makes it sound supernatural, but I mean more in the instance of like a chameleon or an owl, or like how many times have you like looked at a picture and not seen a cat, but there's a cat in it, things like that. Animals have natural cloaking abilities, so I'm not really talking about anything supernatural necessarily, but anyway, interesting picture. Kathy, let me know if I'm right, if that's yours. I think it is, but I could be wrong about that. Same here. I don't have context, but it is the same sort of signature red outline. And I'm going to say that if this is not Bigfoot World, I don't know who it is. So I'm not entirely sure where this picture came from, honestly. Sometimes I just find them in my storage, and I'm like, I've long forgotten who they belonged to originally. And that's a bad habit. I told you guys I'm going to try to break that and do better, but I think we have. But let's look at this picture anyway, because it's interesting. So you've got, again, the typical shape here, which then goes all the way down here to an arm, comes back up. You've got the body and the torso here, arm over here, and then you've got a blurry face. But look at the muzzle area here. You're going to see slight discoloration, lighter, almost like you would expect. Almost like you would expect from more from a Gugway, which would be more of like a primate type Sasquatch, whereas some Sasquatch are reported with very human faces. But there's also a Gugway that's reported with more of a I shouldn't say primate face because we're all primates, but more of a monkey type face, more of an ape face. And then of course this adds a little different element to it, and I could be off the mark here, and that's fine. But this, see this here, this, and then over here, these are either tree branches behind this creature or their ears, and that makes it interesting to me because that's a whole other ball game. I think it's tree though. I think this color kind of looks more like that color, so I think it's part of the tree. So I think we should probably avoid that and not speculate. But it does kind of look like an ear, like right off the bat. It's like, oh, dog man. Nah, it's not a dog man. All right. So, oh man, this picture here. This is not a new picture. This is old. I've seen this numerous times, but I wanted to take the opportunity to kind of zoom in on it and have a good look. I mean, it's fairly impressive right off the bat, right? Like I'm trying to. All right, so here's why here's where it fails for me. And I'm not, I don't want to call everything fake, but we got to be objective. Here's the failures for me. This is the first failure. I see no toe definition here. I see a weird discoloration coming around here. It looks more like a boot to me than a foot. I can almost see a clear separation here. I know that this is tree, leaf, blah blah blah. But I can almost see where the leg gets bigger here. That to me screams boot. Can't see the other one. All right. Where else does it fail? Well, face is interesting enough. I don't really think that's a failure. That's interesting. You know where it really fails for me though? So his knee is up right now. He's walking. When he puts his foot back down, his knee is going to be level with his other knee, which is here. This arm comes down. I'm going to give him the benefit of a doubt and give him a little extra arm length. It's going to come down to here. So he has very short arms in perspective. I mean, as far as humans, no, he has a great human ratio. but if we believe, and it's been widely reported, that Sasquatch has long arms, like fingertips to the kneecap sort of long arms. This guy just doesn't cut it. So I don't know what the context of this picture is. Like, how did they take it? They're just sitting in this tree or something, or sitting up on a knoll of some kind, just waiting for this guy to go by and snap a picture at the perfect moment. And this guy didn't even know they were there, or didn't care they were there. I don't know, guys. It just doesn't add up for me. I gotta say, maybe on that one, but I don't think so. This is the blurriest little picture I've ever seen. It must be real, right? I mean, it's just blurry as hell. And there's just not much there. I don't know who it came from. I have no context. I don't know if you can trust the poster of this picture. I don't see any sort of like cone shape up here. All I see is some hair that comes down on a forehead, one eyeball, one cheekbone, and then a body structure, and that's it. And I'm not going to waste my time on it. I don't think it's anything substantial or to concern yourself with. This picture. Are we all sick of seeing this picture yet? Because I am. I'm sick of seeing it every week or so with a different caption on it, a different location. This one creature's been all over the United States. I mean, that being said, it doesn't make it fake. It's just, it's an overly used picture, and like I said, I don't know that it's fake. I mean, I don't have a reason to believe it is. It is highly pixelated, like right there. See those pixels right there, right here. The creature itself is a huge pixelation, all the way around the top here and on the bottom here. It's just nothing but pixels, And I mean, I know that when you take a picture and you zoom in, it's going to pixelate. But I mean, I guess in all fairness, the rest of it's kind of pixelated too. So I don't know that this is any more pixelated than this. So again, could be a real thing. Could be, I don't know if I want to. I mean, I'm just going to throw this out there as a possibility. Could be some sort of cave opening with grass standing up, covering it to make it look like a shape, right? We've seen that before. We've seen that numerous times. So I don't exactly know what this is, but can we stop using it, please? Can we stop abusing the hell out of this picture? I think it's made its miles online. It's served its purpose. I want to take a second to thank our members, Nick Matthews, C. Richardson, Adventure, Monty, of course. I also want to thank everybody that's recently joined our Patreon. Kimberly, Scott, Scott Loomis from Monsters from Maine. Really appreciate the support. Willie Midwest. Is it Willie or Wiley? Midwest. Another supporter of the channel. I always call him Mr. Midwest, but yeah, supporter of the channel a long time. He's joined our Patreon. I don't want to harp on the subject, but it supports us. It supports our channel. It gives us time and money to be able to do what we do here and make the content that we make, and we appreciate it. And if you are interested, the Patreon and the YouTube membership are similar. The YouTube membership gives you a little bit of, I guess, recognition. Recognition would be the word. You show up. You show up differently in member chats, and it gives you a priority in various situations. The Patreon page, now you will find the same content, the members exclusive content. You'll find it on both things. So if you wanted to go to Patreon and join, great. If you don't want to mess around with Patreon and sign up for an account, you're already here on YouTube. You want to just go to our main channel page and click join, I appreciate it very much. All right. So again, not going to harp on that subject, but I just want to thank the members also. If you are a fan of dark paranormal and dark crime and stories about subjects of that matter, please jump over to our sister page, Cryptic Input, and subscribe. Let's move on. You guys remember this, by the way? Are you this old? Just curious if anybody else is this old. I love the depiction of Bigfoot. He's just like, it's just some Barney Rubble looking guy. He's like, yeah, all right. Anyway, I found this like old vintage picture. I was like, that's funny. Because I remember that when I was a kid. All right, let's get back on it. We are down to our last few here. So, I want to bring this one back up. I know that we've talked about this before, but we've got these zoom in capabilities now. So, First of all, a lot of people say that this is possibly a baby, or a juvenile rather. I don't necessarily see anything that supports that. It's just a dark spot. It could be a rock, it could be some wood, I don't know. But this creature's more impressive. And I'm going to point out why it's being debunked, and I'm going to debunk the debunk. All right, hold on tight, guys. So, first of all, yeah, cone-shaped head, big hairy arms, look like the arm. If he stood up, looks like the arms are very long. It's very cool looking creature. Okay. People say, well, it's fake because this right here is where the pant leg ends and this is where the shoe begins. So they messed up there. And this is a fake, and that's why. Okay. So now I'm going to tell you, I'm going to show you the real behind that. First of all, these logs look like they've been sawn. So, this right here is a piece of this log. This is not a sock or an ankle or anything that other people claim it is. It is nothing more than a piece of this log sticking out. Do you see how they've cut here and then they this kind of broke off and they started here? So it's two different lengths of log. This is shorter than this. So this is that shelf in the middle of that log that is blocking his leg. Now, does that make this picture real? No, it doesn't. But I think it debunks the debunk. I hate when people debunk stuff for the wrong reasons. They come out and they say things are fake and this isn't real and here's why. Well, that's wrong. So let's not make stuff up. You know, if we can find another reason why it's fake, then I'll listen. But until then, I'm gonna stay objective and say that I think it's real. And I think it's one of the better pictures of a Sasquatch that we've ever seen. Not exactly sure how they got the picture or where it came from, because it's old and there's not a lot of context to it, but I still think it's cool. This is kind of a new one that just hit the the internet, the circles recently. Skinwalkers community on Reddit. I hate the Skinwalker conversation. I really do. I think it's one of the reasons I never got into it. These damn Skinwalkers can look like anything. It's like it's too vague of a subject. It's like you see this thing, you don't know what it is. Oh, it's a Skinwalker. Like, well, okay, I guess. I don't know. Like, I'm not saying they're not real, and I'm not saying that people are wrong. I'm just saying that there's no meat there. You can't get into the subject. How can I talk about skinwalkers if everything is a skinwalker? So, that being said, these folks have like this gate cam. It looks like they have a little bridge on their property. It's supposed to be in Kentucky. And you can see the fence over there, in the background with the fence posts. You can see the bridge. This, whatever this is obviously on their property, and they have like a driveway camera. So that being said, let's bite into what this is. It's obviously a skinwalker. All right, I'm kidding. I don't want to, I don't know what it is, but it does look like a Sasquatch. It does kind of have the same, kind of proportions and the large arms, and you can kind of make the head out and stuff like that. The problem with this picture is that at first I thought it was translucent, and I don't think it is translucent. I think it's just bad. It's a bad camera. It's just a crappy like driveway camera, like old, like outside, probably has like weather issues and mold and stuff on it. Who knows? But I don't think it's translucent. I think it's a solid, like an opaque creature. It's in movement though. It's in motion. Sorry. Being in motion, yeah, it generally makes things appear more blurry. And you want to talk about why all pictures are blurry? Well, it's because they're moving all the time. Yeah, they don't want to be seen. And this guy is like I'm guessing this is like in the morning, like early morning, and he's probably just kind of booking it to get to wherever he needs to go and doesn't necessarily want to be seen, and he knows there's a camera there if our assumptions are correct and they know the cameras exist. um I I think it's a Sasquatch. I think it's a Bigfoot. There's a lot of Bigfoot activity in Kentucky, and I think that's what it is. I think they caught one on film, and he's just kind of getting it across their property to get home or wherever he's going. So I have always liked this picture, and I think because I know the story behind it, the guy took a lot of crap when he posted this picture, because people immediately, like, if it's not Patty or it's not Independence Day footage, then everyone jumps on the, oh, what did you take it with a potato, ha ha. Everyone thinks they're so effing funny. So it's just like, not every shot is going to be great. But the guy was saying he's hiking through the woods, he's on his way out. He said that he was sort of escorted out. He knew on a very quiet level that he wasn't necessarily welcome there. And so as he's leaving, he turns around, it's like dusk. He's got just like this camera with him, or or it's like an old cell phone camera, I can't remember which one. He snaps a picture before he makes it out. And what he catches on film is he catches two creatures. He catches this guy here, this being the head, and this being the shoulders. What a massive creature. You can even, I don't know, it's hard to make out the difference between the legs and the tree there. But I tell you what, this right here is the tree branch. The rest of it, look, there's the foot. There's a foot right here. The rest of it is this massive dude. Okay. Then come over here. You got a smaller person. Now, it could be a juvenile, could be a female, I don't know. But you've got the head, you've got the arms there, the feet here. Just, it's a cool picture. And like I said, I have always liked this picture. I think this is a massive Sasquatch. Like, I don't know how big this tree is for scale, but I'm betting this dude's at least 9 foot tall. Like, I'm putting a human standing here, and I think it's a big dude. Anyway, nothing for scale, so I don't want to get too outlandish there, but I think it's cool. We're going to touch on one last one. Abe, again, if you're listening, thank you for this submission. And we're going to look at this picture and make it our last one today. So when I first looked at this picture, I was like, well, that's nothing. And I moved on. And then I started looking closer. And I was like, this is really weird. Again, I try to stay out of the supernatural aspect of Sasquatch, even though I like supernatural and I like paranormal. But I try to think of Sasquatch as more of a physical being. That doesn't make this a Sasquatch. But what we're going to see here is you're going to see a very convenient shadow here and there, and here and there, sort of making a leg structure. Then we're going to follow this all the way up here and come back down over here, back down to the leg structure. Okay, now that we have that figured out, this is what we're looking at. What I want to get into is this. What is going on here? And I know that you have some trees here, maybe some leaves going on here, but it just, like, watch that. Look at the shoulder drop. Boom, right there. Up to the head, down to the second shoulder, something's going on right there. And I don't know what, but I find it interesting. And Abe, I know that you take a lot of crap for your pictures because, you know, they are the nature that they are. And I just want you to know that I appreciate the pictures that you're putting out there in the world. And I think that you're onto something. I don't know what exactly, but it's interesting. So keep them coming. Did we get them all? I believe we did. All right, you guys. That's going to be it for me. All right. I appreciate you guys listening. I appreciate the support on the channel. All right. We just put out a video about videos. So, you know, I did like a breakdown of 4 short clips. So please go check that out. All right. And in the meantime, this is J Mac, and I'm out. Keep squatching.